Welcome back at WNST, Towson, Baltimore, and Baltimore Positive. We are merging the sports with the Baltimore side, with the news, with the entertainment, with the music stuff. All weekend long, I was putting all of my music stuff together. Baseball, football, anarchy, election, selling cars, waiting for football. What else? Eating peaches. And I thought of you early on Sunday, Dennis Koulatsos. They still have yellow watermelon. Got about a week left, maybe a week or two left on the peaches. But this really does mean that football's here. And, Luke and I talking about, like, inside 2 weeks now, they're going to play football and our world's going to stop on inside a week and a half. We're going to have Thursday night football, right? For you and where you are, this is the time, I think, for all of us to roll up our sleeves and say, all right, they're going to play, so I better iron my jersey. I better think this through. But it's not going to be like it usually is. You know what I mean? It's not going to be a normal anything in the same way we've been prepared with baseball and basketball, and even with you going back to professional wrestling 6 months ago and them doing this silent sports thing. It's weird.
It's very weird, Nestor. I saw a memo from the Baltimore Ravens this morning, and they said as a PSL holder, I can take a picture of myself in the Ravens jersey, and they will put a cardboard cutout at the stadium of my image for $45. Now, if you're a non-season ticket holder, you can't make this stuff up. It'll cost you 55 beans, but for $45, I guess when the camera pans the stadium, and I don't know why they would, to show cardboard cutouts of the fans. That was my my wake-up email this morning from the Baltimore Ravens, that I can have my image, my likeness, in the form of a cardboard at M&T Bank Stadium for the 2020 season. It's been the wackiest year I can ever remember.
Well, the Oakland A's came up with this. They were the first ones I heard about doing this. And now we've seen, like, Weekend at Bernie's. How about over the weekend? Like, over the weekend, Friday night, my wife was gone for a couple of weeks, spending time with her family. She's back now. So I was, bachelored up and eating my food and doing all the things I'm doing and stopping and picking up crab cakes at sponsors and bringing them back and all that. And I put the Oriole game on from Buffalo. And, Geddy Lee, who, is my guy, always sits in the front row behind home plate in Toronto. And there's another lady that sits like two people down right behind home plate. Every game in Toronto, the same woman, silver-haired woman, sits in the same seat every game. Like the guy in Dodger Stadium used to have the hat and the speed gun. Remember that?
Yeah.
Natalie dressed dude, looked like he belonged in Hollywood. So they have the cutout Geddy Lee now. And I'm thinking, these poor SOBs in Buffalo. First thing, you're in Buffalo, okay? Like, enough said. You're in Buffalo. Now you've waited your whole life to get Major League Baseball to come to your city. And it does, but you can't go and watch it. They actually have the audacity to import a Geddy Lee cutout, not the real Geddy Lee, a facade of Geddy Lee, and put that behind home plate in Buffalo. I can't even go take a picture with the Geddy Lee fathead. So I'm thinking to myself, Buffalo. But, they beat the Orioles. And how about the Orioles, Den? White flagging, just giving all their players away on a Sunday afternoon.
Hey, the rebuild continues, and thank God football is in 2 weeks. And this Saturday, the going to have to trim the rosters to 53 players at 4 p.m. And I was looking at the Ravens roster, and I've got 47 solids that are going to make the team, which leaves another 6 and maybe 8 as they expand the rosters from 53 to 55. Their practice squad is going up, from 12 players to 16 players. So a lot of moving parts with not just the Ravens, but every NFL team. Yannick Ngakoue, of course, signs gets traded to the Minnesota Vikings, and Leonard Fournette got released by the Jacksonville Jaguars. He's looking for a new home.
We got enough running
this
backs.
Season.
We
have enough running backs. We don't want Leonard Fournette.
Can he play tight end?
Can he rush the passer? That's the other part of it. Jadeveon Clowney's still out there. But a lot of battles here this week, very important for the Baltimore Ravens as a final roster takes shape.
All right, let's pretend that there's no pandemic. Let's pretend that you're not wearing a mask on Zoom, but you wear it all day at Coons Ford, right? So let's pretend everything's normal, all right? And this time next week we'll get together again, and we'll get together on Thursday where you host the Dennis Koulatsos show from 3 to 5, and of course on Sunday mornings before the games. But concerns. Let's pretend everything else is just football. Not testing, not swabbing, not who's going to get sick or any of that. Not even, Baker Mayfield and the Browns and whoever the hell whoever their coach is, and they're going to come in here next week. But for you, over the course of the season, if they're going to play if we were doing normal sports radio, we'd say concern, pass rusher, who replaces Marshall Yanda, and always, how do we keep Lamar Jackson upright, and how do we have him throw it more and better and run it less, right? Like, get hit less. We're back to that. We're back to don't hit him in the knees, right?
Yeah, no doubt about it. And look, the other concern is how do you stop Derrick Henry? The Ravens had trouble stopping the run, stopping the edge last year. Have they done enough in the offseason? You got 2 rookie linebackers. I know they want to generate pressure from the inside out with Calais Campbell and Derek Wolfe. But what happened with the edges, right? We can't get hit for 30 for $1.95 again with the likes of a big running back like Derrick Henry in the playoffs. So my concern is, have they done enough to stop the run? Because if you can't stop the run, you'll never have the luxury of going after the passer, after the quarterback, which is exactly why the Ravens suffered a first-round loss last year.
Everything is so weird, like with life right now, every part of it. But the part, and I said this to Luke sort of facetiously, it's a hell of a time to have a pandemic when we have the best football team, right? Like, this isn't right. You know what I mean? Have a pandemic when we're rebuilding. Don't do it now.
Right.
And I guess over the last 6-7 months, and you and I have talked, and you've gone through your periods of should they play or shouldn't they play, or will they play or won't they play, and will they start or will they finish? And I'm still very much jury's out on all of this, right? But they're going to play, and they're going to play next week. Now that they're going to play, we do start talking about, well, how are the Steelers and whether they're going to be any good, and what are the Browns bringing in here next week? And, I'd see my wife in a couple of weeks, and we got through like the family calendar because it's the first week of September, and she's back to work, and I'm launching the new website next week. I'm not working a whole lot this week. By the way, at WNST this week, if you're tuning in and around the Dennis Koulatsos show, you're going to hear all of the best conversations of my lifetime. So there's going to be sports, music, politics, entertainment, rock stars, movie stars. The time Bob Eubanks called in from the Newlywed Game and wished me well on my marriage. Marsha Brady called in and gave me good luck on my marriage. So I found all of this stuff, and I haven't really had a perfect opportunity to just sort of like throw crap against the wall. And given the state of politics, sports, me rebuilding this whole company and doing Baltimore Positive, I'm just going to throw a bunch of stuff out as I'm migrating content. So that's what I'm doing. But on the football side of things, I'm now starting to be like, all right, who are the quarterbacks? Who are the coaches? Who are the coordinators? What's the schedule? What's my responsibility in this? Am I going to Houston in 2.5 weeks? Like, literally, am I going to get on a plane? My wife just went up to New Hampshire and came home. She's okay, I guess. If she brought me anything, we're not sharing spoons right now, but we are sharing airspace and aerosol. I have a flight to Houston. I think, Dennis, I'm going to go. And I think I'm going to go for the moroseness of all of it. I'm going to go to fly into Hobby, to get a car, to, call Dan Pastorini, which I usually do when I land. My cousin lives there. I don't know if I'm going to go get a socially distanced margarita and some nacho. I don't know. But I know I'm going to drive over to the stadium that day, and there ain't going to be anybody there. And all the barbecue and the Texas barbecue I smell. By the way, free plug for Woodrow's in Mount Washington. Woo! Pretty good, then. I'm going to tell you. Get over there. Been there twice. It's crazy. So I'm not going to have that in Houston, so I'm getting it here in Mount Washington. And then I'm going to take the elevator in a stadium, Den, that I have been in a dozen times, right? Like, I've been there for Super Bowls, right? 2 Super Bowls I've been there for. I'm going to go all the way up to the roof because the seat is like on the moon at the former Reliant, whatever stadium they're calling it this week, right? Energy, I don't know what it is. But you look straight down, and it's like the strangest view in sports. I mean, it's on the moon, and you look straight down, and I'm going to go up there at 11 o'clock in the morning, and John McClain's going to sit over there. Welcome to Houston, Nestor. How you do? And I'm going to, wear my cowboy hat that my wife bought in New Hampshire last week. And there's not going to be anybody there. And Deshaun Watson's going to run around, and Lamar Jackson's going to run around, and there's not going to be any noise.
Right.
And I'm going to be like, I want to do it because it's so weird just talking about it, just telling you about it. I don't know, man. And when you pull into the parking lot there, Dennis, and this is going to bring you back to your childhood, the first thing you see is the Astrodome, right? It's right there in the parking lot. And the first thing I think of is Kelly Leak and Tanner Boyle, right? The Bad News Bears and the Astrodome. Yep. And I'm going to be down there, and it's going to be, I don't know. And they're going to win or they're going to lose, and I'm going to write about it. And I'm not going to go talk to Lamar. I'm not going to see John Harbaugh. If I stayed in the same hotel as them, I guess I'd have to stay the hell away from. I don't know. I don't know. Am I allowed to walk up to John Harbaugh with a mask on in the lobby of the hotel? I don't know. But I'm going to go find out, I guess. I've sort of made the decision now that I think I'm going to Houston in a couple of weeks. I made that decision over the weekend.
Yes, as a member of the media, at least you have choices. The rest of us, and I haven't even thought about this dynamic. I've got to structure my man cave to have 17 games this year plus playoffs, right? I don't get to go to the stadium. I'm not going
You're going to gain weight. Get some watermelon. Bring some.
No, I'm not going to gain weight. I'm going to lose weight.
Get some celery sticks down there. Get some carrots.
We can have some healthy choices during the game, but you're talking about 17 games, with a bye week and then playoffs, but we don't have the luxury or the opportunity to go to the stadium. So it's the new norm. Look, we'll watch.
I guess my question is, I can go, and it's going to be so weird that I don't.
Yeah, but you can go though. At least you can go. You're a member of the media. You get your press passes. You can be live there. It'd be like watching a video game, right? Although video games do have piped in a noise, so I don't know. But
yeah, they let people in to watch executions too, but that doesn't mean I need to be there for one.
Right.
You know what I mean?
That's a great point.
I want a football game. You know what I mean? Like I've explained the whole notion that if Eddie Vedder and Mike McCready called and said, "We'll come to your condo and do like a little show for you," I'd be like, that'd be really neat and special and unique, and I give you a hug. But if you're going to take an hour of your time to do that, why don't you go play for everybody so we can all have a good time? You know what I mean? Yeah. I'm for the people. You know what I mean? And so part of this, and I'll say this over the weekend, the Orioles playing in Buffalo, they didn't pipe in sound. Like the games from Buffalo, for some reason, and all of the games have had different levels of sound and studio applause and all of that. There's something about the television dynamic of that, too, that I don't know how the NFL is going to – I mean, there's been no preseason games to have a vibe on it, right? Like, I don't know what they're planning, but, I mean, they're spending billions of dollars to make this good, allegedly, right? Like, they want us to watch it, but being there is going to be – I'm going for the strangeness of writing about it, literally, for the awkwardness of having said I've been to Antarctica and saw the penguins there,
Well, also, it's a much different experience when you are there at Nestor. You'll see two, mercurial talents and Deshaun Watson and Lamar Jackson on the field at the same time, just like we saw them last year. It's one thing to watch a product on TV. It's a whole different experience when you're seeing these cats live and realizing how incredible they are, and you turn to someone in the press box and say, what the heck was that, right? Versus when you see it on TV, you get the delay and you get different angles. So though the football is a made-for-television sport, it is a much different experience when you're right there watching it. So I do envy you for having the opportunity to go there and watch these talented players live.
Yeah, I don't know. I've been talking to Luke about this for a month. Not one of these baseball games have I thought, I wish I were there. You know what I mean? And it's true. It's out the window, like literally 2 blocks right here out my window. I can walk.
Though. Football's different, and we do have the league.
That's all the more reason that it's missing something, Den. That's all the more reason that I'm telling you that when I'm in Houston, I went to practice last week. Did you see the picture I took? I took a great picture of Luke with the blue clouds. He didn't even know I took it either. His mom saw it before he did. So that was my goal. That's a little fun I have at 52, I mean,
gotcha.
During a pandemic, we take what we get. So, I was down there for practice, and like Justin Tucker came out and Sam Cooke. Then last time I saw Sam Cooke, we had him up Greenmount Station in the snow during the playoffs. Remember, he came up, and I saw those pictures the other day, and I'm like, Sam, hello, hello, hello. And I'm like, and I'm 20 rows up, and he waved, and Justin waved, and how's your wife? And Harbaugh came out the other side. I didn't bother him, and I'm up in the stands, and I was giving the guys at the Ravens PR a hard time, so I have a little comedy here for you because I'm working on my comedy routine. Mickey Coachella wants me to do this. So I turned to Patrick with the Ravens and Tom, and I'm like, ever since Kevin Byrne left here, we don't have access to the players the way we used to. Things have changed around here. So I just use that for a little levity. What do you
think? They really, really have. And, again, look at week 3, the Ravens against the Chiefs. I would love
that's what I told my wife. That's a Monday night game, right?
Love to be at M&T Bank Stadium watching Mahomes and Lamar Jackson. Are you kidding me? The most anticipated game of the year, right? Bar none. and we don't have the opportunity to be there. But again,
well, I'm going
you
to go
better
to
be
that
there.
one. I'm going to go to that one.
Yeah,
That'll
you
be
go to that
that'll be
one.
great. That'll even be better when there's nobody there and I'm behind
Right,
glass,
right.
sitting there eating a cheap crab cake,
Yeah.
and Mahomes is on the edge, and there's no crowd noise, there's no huddle noise. Lamar's out on the edge, razzle dazzle, doing his thing, and all there is Patrick Queen
Yeah.
serving a towel on the sideliners. I
It's
don't
going to
know.
be strange, but
There's nothing about this that sounds, I'm a heart guy, Den, right? Like, I mean,
yeah.
there's nothing about this that feels full, that feels rich, that feels like it's supposed to feel, or it's supposed to make me feel when I high five you and high five Moeller and hug my wife and fist bump my kid and all, the things that make it fun, that make it fulfilling, that make it rewarding, that give it value, that make us want to spend money, that make us long for it and miss it in the off season and hang pictures of, me at the Super Bowl on the wall, and it means something. I don't know what it's going to mean when we can't share it with each other in that way. I mean, I think we're all learning things here. We're about to learn even more.
Look, we have Zoom right now. We have a Zoom conference call. You and I can envision on Sundays getting on Zoom calls with my fellow Ravens fanatics, and maybe we just get in chat rooms and it becomes the new norm. You couldn't ask for a better start to the schedule. You get the Cleveland Browns at home, divisional rival.
Victory.
You're going to put them at 0-1, start 1-0. Then you come back, you go to Houston, and of course we embarrassed them at M&T Bank Stadium last year. They're going to be up for this game. And then you come back home for that Monday night brawl with the Chiefs. You couldn't ask for a better start, a better schedule to the season. You really couldn't.
What's going on at Coons Ford? I know you're here Thursday. We're ramping up for Labor Day, and then we get going next week. We're going to have football. The Orioles season's over, but that just means that it's more time to come out and buy a car, right?
It's a great time to come out and buy a car at Coons Baltimore Ford. 0% for 72 months is still the norm around here. We're getting more and more new vehicle inventory. We have a lot of late model vehicles. Our collision center is very, very busy. People are still banging up their vehicles left and right they shouldn't be, but they are. They're not paying attention. And our service department is also, we'll pick up, we'll deliver. We social distance. We disinfect every single vehicle. We have disinfection machines at every level. So we've been very, very safe. Everybody's safe here at Coons Baltimore Ford. And, again, we thank you for the great advertising we get from WNST, the community. We get more repeat referral business than any other business that I know of. So we're very, very grateful.
Well, I'm grateful for you. We'll see you on Thursday, hopefully around here. Hopefully this time next week we'll have the sites merging together, the new sites looking. I almost want to show it to you, but it's like, that it's almost ready to be shown to everyone. And I've been working hard over the weekend and finding all these old music conversations from my earlier journey, all of these Hall of Fame sports conversations. And I'm finding one place now, one sort of repository for every Art Modell conversation, every Johnny Unitas, every Brooks Robinson, every Cal Ripken, every Ray Lewis and Brian Billick, and, all the years of sports, putting it into one place, but also putting that in a place where my conversations with Governor Schaefer and John Moog and Martin O'Malley and Bob Ehrlich and, anybody that I've ever talked to during the course of my conversations, whether it's Steven Tyler and John Bon Jovi and Billy Joel, all of that stuff in one place. So, and then building a new place that we can, beginning next week, put it all, find it all, share it all, and then grow it all. So that's what I'm doing at Baltimore Positive.
That's the newness of it all. WNST's website, the new NFL football season, new norms everywhere. Life's all about change, and look, we have to embrace change or risk becoming dinosaurs, extinct. So we just got to figure out, find our new cheese, right? Who moved our cheese? A great book from the back in the day. Got to find unison in whatever we do.
There will be new things here during the pandemic, and I'm using my time wisely. I hope you are as well. I know Dennis is out fishing, selling cars, eating watermelon, and waiting on football. And I think we're going to have football next week. Dan, always great to have you on. We'll see you on Thursday, all right?
Thank you so much. Be well. Thank
Dennis
you.
Koulatsos joining us here from Coons Baltimore Ford. You can find them. Our tech service, of course, delivered by them. And there was Orioles trade one guy, Orioles trade another guy, Orioles trade Givens, Orioles trade Malone. That all happened on the WNST tech service over the weekend as well. And Dennis, you're Dennis is here Thursday, 3 until 5. Replays on Sunday mornings before the games. And I join him. He joins me. And we'll be having some Hall of Fame conversations all week long. I am Nestor. I'm on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Snapchat, Instagram, streaming live on our Facebook and our YouTube, WNST TV channel, zooming it up. We're going to get new Chiron here for everything, including the Taharka Caramel Crunch ice cream. Maybe I should get a little Taharka ice cream thing sits over here so I can scoop out. We are WNST.net, AM 1570, Towson, Baltimore, calm, local, and Baltimore positive.